Welcome to the creative side of things,
where we empower and inspire business owners and entrepreneurs to tap into their inner creative,
from standing out in saturated markets
to debunking and challenging the status quo.
We'll learn firsthand from actual small business owners how they've applied creativity, imagination, and common sense to grow their businesses. I'm Javier, Chief Creator and Founder of High Ground Creative.
And I'm Megan, Founder and CEO of Cheek & Co. Clothing.
I'm Gen X and her dad.
I'm Gen Z and his favorite daughter.
Oh, that's debatable.
Well, it's not up for debate. Together we are creative thinkers,
design experts,
branding gurus,
imagination igniters,
and coffee addicts. Keep listening and we'll prove it to you.
Hey, you might learn something.
Imagine that.
Ready?
Let's get creative. Recording.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the creative side of things. Okay, we are a podcast like no other, Megan. I'm going to get here and get us going because this is our first ever episode.
And first time ever recording. Trying to.
Right. So
we have been setting up for about an hour. There's 3 cameras. It's very intense.
We got one here, we got one over there, and we'll be splicing these up. So
if you're watching us on video, you might see things get better over the next few episodes because we're learning.
We're learning. Constantly learning.
And we're trying to be creative and tap into our creative side when it comes to video and audio.
That right there.
Because I'm a photographer, so this is all new to me.
Right.
This is different. This isn't Instagram stories.
You are going on this journey with us, people, and we're excited to have you along for the ride. So we are here on our first episode. Today, what we want to do is set a tone for the entire thing. You know, what the heck is the creative side of things? Who the heck is Javi and who the heck is Megan?
Are they related? These are the big questions.
Right. You might have a clue already. You might have seen a clue.
You might know us.
Right.
I'm so sorry. You might know us on a personal level.
Right. So let's do this. I want to start with you, Megan Santana.
You just gave away who I am, so.
I want you to tell me your name, and then from there, tell us who you are and what you do, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. So I'm Megan, and first daughter to Javier. I own an online clothing company. We are a 70s inspired online boutique, basically. So our slogan is selling groovy clothes to the modern hippie. And I started Cheek & Co. when I was 20. And we just celebrated our 5-year birthday in August. So 5 years selling clothing. But the real heart of Cheek & Co. is basically feeling like true to yourself with your clothes and accessories, because I think it's easy to I don't like when people make fun of liking pink or sparkles or anything like that. Like, that shows my personality, and there's no shame to whatever you like to wear. So I like sharing people's personalities through clothing, and I think, especially as a photographer, what you wear makes a huge difference how people perceive you.
That's huge.
So if I go into a meeting in, sweatpants versus dolled up per se, it's going to make a difference. It's going to show who I am. And there's nothing wrong with loungewear at all. But I just really like unique clothing and selling things that you can't find at Target, basically.
I like it. And there's nothing wrong with Target. It's just this
I love Target.
Okay, so this is you from a professional standpoint.
My shoes are currently from Target.
I want to, so a little more about you. I'm going to ask you a question. So you talked about your passion, which is this boutique. You are a multi-business owner,
yes.
Boss lady. So tell us, and I'm going to tell us the viewers here, Megan owns 2 businesses, and Cheek & Co. Clothing is one of them, and this is her passion. Her job, even though she owns it, is what
pays the bill.
What pays the bill?
Which I do enjoy, is photography. So I started photography about 8 or 9 years ago. I started in high school. I was shooting senior photos, and I absolutely love photography, and that will never ever change. But what's cool about photography is it adapts to whatever passion. So now that I have clothing, I still use that passion a lot in my clothing company. I shoot all my own photos and work with models and get to put together really fun photo shoots and really like tap into my creative side through photography and really show what we're all about. And I think professional photography in a tangible product selling is very important.
Right. Right. No, I see it when you go to your website and all your
I think it
social
makes
media.
us stand out for sure. Than
For
if
sure.
someone's, showing stock photos.
Right. Right. And one thing to give you kudos is, you have pictures of folks that are different sizes and how they look in that particular same garment.
Yes.
Right?
And a huge thing I always tell my girls is to not like worry about the letter on the sizing. Really read every description I put, because just because something says medium doesn't mean you can only be medium to wear it. And that's like a huge thing that I always market. Like I'll show myself in an XL and how I style it oversized, and then I'll also show it on someone who wears it true to size. And I just think that sizing is just a recommendation. It's whatever you want to wear.
I love that.
Whatever size you feel comfortable with.
I love that. That is huge.
If you feel pretty, that's all that matters.
Well, I'm feeling kind of pretty right now. Okay, that's a different podcast.
You're feeling pretty.
You can see black and white is my thing. Okay. So
Yeah, today we're both very comfortable,
very comfortable today.
but you might see us really shine in our, I feel like so hypocritical to be wearing a sweatshirt right now, like talking about how important clothing is. But it's the first episode, and I wanted to be comfortable and get in my zen.
Right.
So we're going to move on to Javier's business and what he's all about. And
Okay.
confirmation is yes, we are related.
Yes. So this young lady is my firstborn and my joy.
No sappy allowed.
No. 15 years later.
25.
I'll give 25 years. Okay, I'm going to give you an abbreviated version of what I do. I'm Javier Santana. Official title is Chief Creator of High Ground Creative. We are a full-service digital marketing agency located in Central Delaware, but we can serve anybody in the world. Because of technology, we can do that. We have clients from all over the place. What do we do? Well, we're a little different. We're a boutique. Kind of, you have a boutique. We're very, very custom. And what we do is we serve our clients in helping them grow. And because when they grow, we grow. And so what does that mean? Well, we focus on their marketing and get in ways to expose our company to the general public, to pinpoint markets and customers and helping them grow. So that's the big part of our business. We do websites, we do graphic design, social media management, as well as video production, lead generation, everything in between, and we do it very, very well.
I think it's hard to find it all in one place, and that's what really makes you stand out, especially in Delaware.
Right, thank you, yeah. And I pride myself in that because we looked at different options of outsourcing, which it's fine to outsource, because I'm going to talk about outsourcing in a minute to wrap this up, because there's more things that I want to talk about us, but ultimately, the idea is a business owner is at a point where they need to do something marketing-wise, and they know they need to do that, and they're overwhelmed about what they should do. So enter High Ground. We can come in and become an extension of their business. So if you look at I use an analogy and I'll do that very quickly. If you look at a shopping cart and it has 4 wheels, and then each of those wheels, let's say it was a part of a business. You have finance, you have sales, you have operations, and you have marketing. If you go to a shopping cart, most of them in Target or even Safeway, anywhere, one of them is always like...
Especially TJ Maxx, oh my gosh. There's always one, and I always get it.
Right. And then you swap it with another one,
and it's worse.
It's still worse. So...
So all 4 wheels working properly are very important.
Right. So many times for business owners, they know they need to take care of that 4th wheel, which is their marketing, but they're too focused as they need to be on operations and sales and finance. But you cannot neglect the wheel, because eventually it comes off and your business is out of balance. So enter high ground. We can be that wheel for you as an extension. If our clients outsourcing their marketing to us.
And seeking help is a huge step as a business owner, and it's really hard to do, especially when you are you like being in control. Mm-hmm. I struggle with like seeking help because I want everything perfect in a certain way, but if you want to grow, you have to outsource. Like, find what you're best at and do that, but the things that you're iffy on or can't do, whether that's bookkeeping or video or photography or whatever, that's when you start seeking help.
Right. And what you said is people outsource maybe a piece of it and not all of it, and then it gets disjointed, and then those pieces do not collaborate and talk to each other, then that hurts the business. So one stop, for us. So we'll be talking about our businesses as we go on, and obviously it's not a commercial about our businesses, but it is who we are, and this is what we do, right? So what's the center of this is creativity and imagination, which is our big focus.
And how big that plays into business.
It's essential, right? But I do want to go a level deeper with each of us individually as people, and I'm not going to lead this except tell us a little bit about Meghan as a person, not Chica. Not to put you in a spot, but just be free about this and just anything you want to let us know so then people can connect with you.
So I'm 25. I just turned 25 over the summer. And I think that I am someone who really has always been a homebody. And I've always used that in my business, sharing that you can be big in a small town. A lot of people, they try and find success through leaving, which is completely fine. Because of course, like if you wanted to be a film director, like I don't think you can really do that much in Delaware. So I think me being a small town girl is like a huge part of me. And I live on a farm, and I run the online clothing company out of a pole building on the farm, and literally like right outside my office window you see Bambi, who is a horse. So I think that being a small town girl is like unique to me, and I just love being creative, and I think it's a priority in my business, like over anything, just making sure that at the end of the day I'm having fun and like what I'm showing and creating, because if I don't, then you can see straight through me. You'll be able to tell if I don't like a piece of clothing. And so I refuse to like sell something that I wouldn't wear, and if I don't love it, I'm not going to offer it. So creativity is really, really important to me.
And this young lady, if you heard the intro, the little sass you heard in the little there, that was not something that was scripted. So what I love about Meghan is many things, but she wears her emotions on her sleeve. She's very passionate about what she does, but you know it. If she's not happy, you know it. If she's happy, you know it.
Yes. On social media, I am very transparent. And
well, that might come across here as we do these episodes. Who knows? I have my seatbelt.
Yes. I think the podcast is going to really grow me as a person and teach me how to be a little bit more transparent, because I tend to try and fit in a box occasionally because I am a people pleaser. Mm-hmm. So I think this podcast is going to be really good for me to really like just be myself, because you can't re-record. Like on Instagram stories, sometimes I'll say something and then I'll delete it, but I can't do it here. So
and we're not.
Hopefully you guys like it.
Right. Our editing that's going to happen here, it's going to be more.
We're not really taking anything out.
No, on this on the angles, but if I sneeze, if somebody rips one, we're keeping it, folks. We are keeping it.
Iced coffee.
Yes.
What is your coffee today?
Today, I actually moved. I got iced coffee from Starbucks and decided to transfer.
It's in a mug?
It's in a mug.
He has iced coffee in a mug.
Because I just wanted to have the mug here.
We're not sure what month it is that you're listening right now, but right now it is November, and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. And so my coffee is a brown sugar cookie, and you might not be able to get that when you're listening, but it's from Dunkin' Donuts.
I tasted it. It was fair.
It's really good.
Very good. I stay with cold brew from Starbucks with some.
If you follow him on Instagram, he does talk about his coffee order on the daily.
And coffee, as you saw in the intro, we'll get deeper into this maybe today.
It is in our logo.
Yeah. And what's interesting is this episode again is to let you know who we are and what we're about. because it'll frame everything else that comes from here. Our passions, our likes, our dislikes, and things like that.
Coffee is something we as father-daughter just bond over, and anytime we want to hang out, we just meet at a local coffee shop. That's just what we do.
Right, and
it's our thing.
The creativity that oozes out of our brains when we do that, it's incredible. I'll do obviously I'm a little older than this young lady, so I'm not going to give you this whole almost 52 years old. But
he was born in the era of my clothing company.
So
we're a 70s inspired boutique.
That's right. I'm an early Gen X. I'm 1970 was born. This young lady, it's almost a millennial. Millennials went up to 1996.
According to my sister, I am very millennial to her.
Right.
She makes hardcore fun of me.
Right, because she's 19. She's in Gen Z.
She'll tell me what to say and what not to say, and if I'm cringy.
Right. So it's one of those things that I think I see her as a millennial, Megan, but you're technically, because of 1 year, you're a Gen Z. So we're keeping it officially because we don't want to be inaccurate. But that's a disclaimer because there's a lot of millennial on here. So now we got a millennial / Gen Z interacting with a Gen X, who we are the dangerous generation. That's why they didn't give us a darn name as a darn X. They couldn't figure it out, so give them an X. Latchkey kid. My mom would go to work, leave my sister and I. Just dinner's over here, figure it out. I'll be home by 7.
We're a very tech family. Like my abuela she's in her
76.
And sorry, Abu, we shared your age. But she literally will be on my Facebook group. She is like so techie. So we just come we're from a very techie family.
Right, and very creative. If you go, she works out of her house. And hey, I just had an idea. We should have her as a guest.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh my God, we're gonna have
You guys would love her.
She has 3 screens. It looks like the helm of the Starship Enterprise.
And she orders chicken all the time.
All the time. I was born in Puerto Rico. Moved to the United States when I was 11 years old with my sister, who is also an entrepreneur, and grew up in Northern Virginia, D.C. area, and then ended up in Delaware because I came to play baseball in the early 90s at Delaware State University on a baseball scholarship, and I was going to be a professional baseball player. Then I met this young lady at the time. She was 19, and her name is Lisa. And fast forward, we just celebrated her 27th year anniversary. And
we need the applause button. Do we know which one it is?
I don't even know. Is it the green one?
We got to write this down. You should, just for fun. Nothing happened.
What is this one?
Are you hearing it?
No, I'm not hearing anything. Megan?
I think you need the volume up next to the buttons.
This one?
This slider next to the buttons. I think that one.
Oh, this one. Okay.
That fits. We're going to have a lot of fun with that.
This is fantastic. We got to write this down. Miss Producer?
Yeah, I know. I don't like
Okay, that's another one. Hey, there we go. There we go. So the yellow is the applause.
So wait, say how long you've been with Lisa and then hit the yellow button.
27 years.
There we go.
And from her, we spawned 3 beautiful young ladies, Megan being the oldest.
No boys.
No boys. I wouldn't know what to do with boys. That's another podcast.
What to do with boys?
There is Bella, who actually works for me at High Ground as a part-time, but she's an administrative assistant. She's 19, and we have Grace, who is our youngest.
She's very, very creative too. Both
very
of
creative,
them, very artsy.
Very artsy. I'll share some stuff later about her with her. And she is just turned 13, so she's now in that stage of people that know me have heard me say this, but she's too old for toys, too young for boys right now. Yeah. Still love Star Wars. So I've always been a creative person.
Speaking of Star Wars.
See how she stepped on my, see that? She stepped on my line. Go ahead.
What does high ground mean? Where did that come from?
That was a nice softball there I threw at you. Thank you. I'll take that one and hit it out of the ballpark. High ground creative. Obviously, if you have the creative high ground, or actually the high ground anywhere, a positional in war or in a battle, you are in a position of a better view of your opponents, your competition, and have a better position to win. Doesn't guarantee you a win, but you're in a better position. So we help people get the competitive high ground over the competition. How does that tie into high ground, into Star Wars? Thank you for asking. If those of you who know Star Wars understand this, but
It's a very important scene.
Anakin, don't do it. I have the high ground. And you know what happened to him? He lost.
He had a barbecue.
He had a barbecue. So I'm a big Star Wars fan. That's a little bit part of what I do. I love baseball, love all Washington sports. Don't judge. And please do not unsubscribe because of this.
The whole point of the podcast is we're all unapologetically ourselves, and we do not judge each other. And
Right.
we're just ourselves. So this is a safe place to be who you are and to be creative. So
I love that.
With that said, I think you've learned a lot about us at this point, and we just wanted to share the why behind the podcast and just give you a little like why we decided to do this and how did we even come about being together on the podcast?
Actually, because
that wasn't the original plan.
We need to segue to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to start?
Sure. So I started helping Javi with the idea of starting a podcast, and we were getting really far into it, like logo and everything. And then thank you to Bobby
Jones.
Yellow button, please.
Robert Jones.
He had
Mile
us.
High podcast. Not Mile High. No. What's the podcast?
Oh, you're
Bobby Jones. He's going to kill me. I am so sorry. Bobby Jones. Extra Mile podcast, not high.
go the extra mile.
Extra Mile podcast.
So he had us as a father and daughter guest because we both own businesses, and it was a cool, idea. And we just really flowed well.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were driving back after, I was like, what do you think about me joining you instead of just behind the camera being in front of it with you? Very Leo of me. I'm a July Leo.
Right.
And so he was like, yes, let's do it. So we literally had to start from scratch. Like we erased everything. And I think it was for the better for so many reasons, but also I just love our logo. It's so cool. It's very retro.
That was a collaborative thing in our visions. And I'm very happy.
Yeah.
One of the first things that Megan said to me is like, Dad, we need to, and I was like, no, we do need to redo design. And she goes, no, can we have no mountains?
Please. I am not outdoorsy at all.
So, High Ground Creative is my company, and we do great things. This podcast is obviously going to talk about a lot of things, but this is a very centralized thing that is going to focus on with business owners. And that's actually a really good thing because we came out of this, and I just want to say that I thought the same thing. And when I said earlier, I want to clarify this, that, Megan wears her emotions to the sleeve, and then you came back with you're kind of guarded sometimes. I want to correct myself. What you're going to find here is that Megan and I are very much the same in a lot of things. And there's many times that I know what Megan's thinking and I know where she is. And some people might not be able to catch that, but I know. So maybe I just came from my perspective that you can't hide that from me.
No.
I know that, right? I chase you down like, what's wrong?
Yeah, he'll text me and he's like, are you good? Your Instagram story seemed a little off. I'm like, yeah, I'll call you. Here's what happened.
Nobody knows, but I know that there's something off with Megan. So Megan has an alter ego. Her name is Chica.
Oh, yeah. She is everything I aspire to be. And with the podcast, what we're trying to do is there's a lot of people who don't feel creative at all, and they struggle with that. And I think that's a really scary thing, to feel not creative in life and in your business.
Right.
And we just want to help share that everyone's creative, and it just shows in different ways.
I love that.
So we're tapping into your inner creative.
Right. We have two lobes of our brain.
Because some people are more left brain.
Right.
And that's totally fine.
But they have a right brain.
Yes.
So we have to.
You just got to exercise
it. It atrophies. That's a big word of the day.
Atrophy.
Spell
Atrophies.
Atrophy.
I can't spell that. Atrophies.
Atrophy. Okay, Google it. So a muscle, when it doesn't get used, it atrophies. It kind of dies.
Word of the day.
And what happens with that, it doesn't die in your brain, but if you don't exercise it, there's ways to tap into that inner creative, because we're all creative.
Yeah.
And that's our passion, is to be able to help people do that. You don't have to be a good artist, meaning painting or drawing, to be considered creative. There's ways people use creativity in career life to solve problems.
Yeah, I think it's easy to think that means painting, music, whatever.
Right.
And it could be so many. It could be like for my mom, Lisa, for her, it's how she is in her classroom. Like she's creative in that way. Like
she's a first grade
how
teacher.
she creates lesson plans and how she reads a book to a kid is like extremely creative. So
Right.
it's different for everyone. And she said so many times that she's not creative.
Oh my
We're
God.
like, yes, you are.
She's
You
one of the most creative people I know.
It doesn't have to be drawing.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so
there's many
the
people.
homework, guys, write down ways you feel creative,
Right.
and they're correct. Like it doesn't have to be artsy fartsy.
Right. So things that stifle your creativity is the word no, or I can't, or I will never, or always. Those things, and these are exercises we're going to go into in the future, but understand, take our word for it and go in this journey with us, because we're going to find ways to communicate this to you when we have our deep dives. So I want to explain to our format. So we're going to have two ways of doing this. Yes. Meghan, go ahead and.
So I'll have you share the second way. Okay. So the first way is going to be, is it once a month? For like a topic.
Yeah, we're going to do 2 of those a month.
2 of those, yeah. Okay. I just want to clarify. So, 2 episodes a month, we're going to have a topic and go hardcore into it. And it's not going to be anything like lecturing. We're just going to chat about it. And we have a general idea. Both of us are creating notes by ourselves. We don't know what the other person's going to say. And that's what makes this a great podcast, is we're just learning together.
Right.
And we're just going to see where it goes. But I'm really excited to talk about all these topics with you guys. And it's just going to be a place to come listen and feel heard, because we're all experiencing the same things right now with algorithm, with business, with the economy. So we're just going to be open about it.
And
creative.
2 points of view, right? So we have millennial / Gen Z female who has...
And I sell a service and product.
Service and product. And you have a worldview that's, very aligned to mine in many ways in our values, but at the same time, it's very different because of your experiences as a young lady, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And then you have the old guy, right? And I have a point of view. I've been doing this for almost 30 years being in the advertising marketing space. We're not just going to talk marketing, but we're going to talk about a lot of things that really, resonate with business owners and entrepreneurs and the hustle. Right?
And then the second part of the show we're really excited about.
Right. So we're going to bring in very successful in their own right business owners and entrepreneurs as guests. And we're going to sit here and drill them.
And they do all different things.
all kinds of things. We have a good lineup already.
And if you guys have suggestions, if you have people you want to hear on the podcast, let us know.
And if you know somebody
Instagram
that we don't know, and we can connect us and we can get them on there.
We're really excited.
Absolutely. And the idea here is we're going to have them tell us, and we'll get it out of them. Ways they've used creativity and imagination to grow in their business, how they solve problems. Our goal is for you to get nuggets. If you get a nugget or 2 out of each episode that you can apply into your world and make it better, impacting others, impacting your business, impacting your employees, impacting your customers, that's a big deal for us. And so we don't know everything. We're learning as we go along about each other and about the people that we bring in here. But those people are going to bring a lot to this, and they've been successful in their own right, and we're gonna hear about it and learn together.
And
so
sometimes we're gonna disagree on a topic, and that'll be fun.
Right. And is there
I think the blue one.
The blue one.
No, it was ooh, I think there was. We're still learning.
No.
Oh, that's when we agree.
I had an idea. No. Remember this one. Imagination. SpongeBob.
Of course.
Come on, people. The last one.
That's when your joke doesn't land.
Which is most often
yes.
not. But shut up. When my jokes don't land, they're actually funnier than when they land.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Come on.
Cue the crickets.
Oh, sorry.
It's a red button. You already forgot.
All right. Are we losing anybody? Hopefully we haven't lost anybody. They stopped listening.
But yeah, that is that's the heart of this podcast, and we're so excited. And per usual, I'm gonna be transparent too. I'm super nervous, but I'm excited, and I think that's a great combination. Right. If you're not scared, you're doing something wrong.
Right. People, that energy.
If you're super comfortable, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Check yourself.
Check yourself. You got to check yourself.
Yeah, check yourself.
Butterflies are good. You just have to take that energy and use it for positive ways, and instead of making it make you retreat. So when you have those butterflies, when you have the little tension inside there, that's good energy. Just turn it into good energy, and that's creative energy.
Yes.
And creativity is a big part of this. There's no way anything that has ever been created started with an idea, started with a thought. Somebody thought about, hey, what's that? And then they execute about that. So we're going to talk about thoughts and ideas and creativity, and also how to apply those and execute. Because
executing is the important part.
Right.
Because people talk a lot. You got to put action to your words.
Right.
We're here to also keep you guys accountable.
Right.
And ourselves. You keep us in check too. If we said we're going to do something and we don't, you tell us.
Right. Engage. We want to hear about you.
That dang algorithm, you better engage.
Yeah, you're going to see us in a few of the social media. We're going to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, Instagram and maybe a TikTok. But on Instagram, we're going to be doing Reels. So enjoy me forcing Javier to do
crazy stuff.
Stupid things.
Last time you did that, we had about 10,000.
We got good views on it because we look stupid.
I do a reel. I get 300 people watch it. She does it for me. With me there, we get 10,000.
I mean, what can I say? And we'll talk all about reels in an episode for sure.
Absolutely.
Or just video in general.
And we'll be on Facebook. It'll be, but our most of our stuff will be, Instagram and YouTube driven. Our episodes will be able to be listened to on all the streaming
platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Spotify,
Apple Podcasts. I'm going to get an actual list for you guys, but definitely those two.
Right.
And
Pandora maybe.
Yeah, I think Anchor also. Okay. So that's what so when you're hearing this, this is our first recording. So I'm going to be submitting this and getting us on all the platforms. So it'll be really easy to find us. And I'm just really excited. I know I keep saying that.
I love it.
Super excited. So a little homework for you guys between now and the next episode is to write down how you feel most creative. What do you do that makes you feel creative? And also how you can be super selfish. Just what makes you creative, and write it all down. Right. Because I think another side thing, writing things down is really important. If you'll get to know us, and you're going to hear a lot of our papers, we are notebook people.
Right, we are.
I am sticky notebook, paper planner person. And I think things don't really come into effect until they're written down.
Right. It actually there's a psychology behind it.
It's like a manifest. Like when you write it, it's real.
It's
if you just think it's not going to happen.
Right. So ideas are SHIT. Execution is it's all what it is. So it starts with an idea. Do what Meghan does. There's no sense in fighting her. Just if she asks you to do something, just
do what I tell you. I only want what's best for you.
I've learned in my life, and I'm still working on that. But at my age, with 3 daughters and being with my wife for so long, I realized I don't have to be right all the time, because I'm not right all the time. So I just nod and just go with the flow.
Are you excited for the podcast?
I am ecstatic. I'm so excited, Meghan. Not only, I have to get sentimental, not only because this is a dream of mine personally, but having you part of this is a big deal. You don't live with us, so I know I get to see Meghan this week. Why? Because we're doing stuff like this.
Because you're forcing me to come now. But thank you guys so much for listening to our first chaotic podcast. And the next one is when we really start getting into things. We're going to have a topic. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. But this, again, just to reiterate, was just get to know us and what we're all about.
Awesome. I'm going to give you one little thing with Megan's homework. But the first rule of imagination is that there are no rules. Do not set them for yourself when you're writing things down. Open your mind, get in there and let the creative juices flow, and do not prejudge them. Let them come out of your head and into that piece of paper.
Yes.
Okay, so that being said, what's a good sign off? We don't have a sign off. We're gonna do this real time. A good sign off. So
I have no idea. You keep hitting the wrong one.
Okay, so we're gonna sign off unofficially here.
We end with the ice.
Right.
The iced coffees.
Until next time. By the time we have our next one, we're gonna have a sign off. That's our homework.
Okay.
Then we'll have an official sign off.
Okay. So for now, cheers to that.
Cheers. See you next
Creative,
time.
the creative side of things.
Bye.